all of this, you're like, all right, man, real estate is where I need to be, want to be there. Now, the statistic is 90% of realtors fail in the first 3 years. So once now you've got this clarity, you decide to jump into this and really attack this, and that this is the path that you're going to go. What did you start doing to create success where you didn't become one of those statistics?
One of the first things I did is I announced my, getting my license on for my real estate license on Facebook. That was one of the first things that I did. And it was a great way to just kind of put it out there and say, hey guys, I just got my real estate license. I took a picture. Pictures are huge. I took a picture with my, I think I was at the Keller Williams office over in KC North. And I took a picture, and I was just, people love to hear about success and happiness and achieving goals and motivational stuff. Like, you're achieving any kind of goal, no matter what it is, you share it on Facebook. You send out a positive vibe, and people are attracted to that positive vibe. Makes them feel good. They want to see your stuff on their feed, as opposed to, and everybody knows, and everyone's probably aware, and they've all seen it. They go down their news feed and they see, negative this, negative that. And it's all like this, negative, and you want to get that out of your life. You don't want to be, you don't want all that negative vibration in your aura, in your area. So, I think that, just if you're a new real estate agent and you want to kind of get the word out there, just make a Facebook post, tweet about it, put an Instagram post, make the content engage with people that are, interested in your life and what you're doing. And that's why they're commenting and liking your stuff.
Yep. All right. So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay. So you do a post, which is great, right? You got to let people, at the end of the day, they got to be aware of what the hell you do in order for them to do something with you.
Everybody wants to know what you're doing.
Yep. So, but then from there, right, you do a post, and that might have, I don't know, got you a referral or some referrals, but what are some of those other things that you started doing? Whether it is, hey, I just really strategically worked social media with more posts and growing that, and or other activities that you are doing today that's working well for you, or has it really been all through social media?
It's not all been through social media, no. I think that there was an initial pop, like right when I first, put it out there. I think that, you got some people that gained traction there, but, just like with anything, direct mail, following up with leads, it's all about consistency, right? So it takes a little bit of time for your audience to take you serious, and they're not going to take you serious until they see a series of success. And they're not going to see it unless your content is visually appealing or, emotionally motivating. So putting that kind of content out there consistently is only going to it's just like another form of direct mail. It's just digitally. So it's just like how you would design a flyer. You want to make it beautiful, personable, all that stuff. Yeah. But I did do a lot of calling FSBOs. I did a lot of open houses. FSBOs, man, those were fun.
Yep. No, definitely. Yeah, you get thick skin quick, right? So,
but they're very effective. Right.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. So then, okay, so let's just speak specifically to social media, because I mean, the vast majority of our audience, as I told you before we hit the record button, are in real estate, and we've got a young audience, right? It's like, according to YouTube, at least our YouTube listeners, where we get this data, 75% of them are in the millennial generation. And I think most people today, it's not it's not like 5 years ago where you really had to talk about, hey man, if you don't have a strong social media presence, you're going to become extinct. I think everybody gets the power of social media today, but a lot of people just don't know an effective strategy, right? Because you can post all day long, but if you're posting junk nobody wants to see, or if you're just in their face constantly about send me referrals, you can turn people off. And what are some tips that you could give our audience that you've done that engage people, get more people following you, as well as let them know what you do without turning them off?
Well, I think it's important to have a business Facebook page along with your personal page. Your personal page needs to be mostly personal stuff. You need to pepper in your business stuff in there, but it needs to be more like success stories. You don't really want to be too salesy on your newsfeed, your personal newsfeed, because you can't run ads on a personal news or a personal Facebook as of right now. And as far as a business Facebook page, you can obviously, that's the whole point. So you post something, you make an ad, and you can be very strategic in these ads. And it's really not that hard. You can go in there and you can start typing in like certain type of demographics that you want. You can target certain areas, a certain, radius from a certain listing. That's usually what I like to do on my listings. I'll post it and I'll target a certain distance from that listing. And you can even do different tags that people that are most likely to move or, likely to move soon or stuff like that. So there's, if you have a listing, absolutely, you need to be Facebook adding that stuff. Absolutely. But beyond that, let's say you're a new agent and you don't have any listings. You could ask another agent within your brokerage to host their open house, and you can post their open house on your Facebook page, your business Facebook page, and make an ad, and that will drive more traffic. It will, because I have noticed on my open houses when people come in, it used to be all Zillow. That's where I got the listing, or Realtor.com, occasionally here Trulia or whatever. But now, it's like half of the people coming in there saying Facebook, and it's like, wow. And I got a lot more traffic coming through my open houses. So it's really good for driving traffic.
Yep. Couldn't agree. Couldn't agree more. I mean, it's 48% of my business or my team's business comes from open houses, and same thing. And the nice thing about Facebook ads too is, we'll get 20 or 30 leads before the open house even happens, just from that ad. And, so it's a way to leverage those. But just speaking to, let's just talk about the personal page for a moment, right? And I agree that it's got to be a hell of a lot more, personal, getting people to know you on a personal level, as you talked about. But also, you got to sprinkle in a little bit of real estate stuff here and there. Cause it's like, dude, your mother will forget that you're a real estate agent, right? To your mother, your son or your daughter or whatever. They don't see you as a realtor. So, what are some things that you do? Cause you've got these huge audiences, to kind of sprinkle in some stuff so they do, somewhat when they think of real estate, you want them thinking of you as well.
Well, I really like to do the sold post. When I sell a house, I will go and take a picture in front of the house, and it probably be like a selfie or I'll have Brian take a picture with me, and it'll be like a sold picture. I'll have like a little writer that says sold, or I'll just put the lettering on there later with an app or whatever. And then I'll drive people to my website, kchomeliving.com. And, I'll include the link. If you want to see what else is for sale, come to this link. And then it's a great light touch where it's kind of like, okay, I'm giving you like a little bit of business. Like, here's my website, don't forget. But it's not, but I noticed that the amount of likes, and this is not to sound narcissistic at all. This is just human science. It's just not statistically the likes are higher on those types of posts as opposed to something that's just like, hey, here's some information, don't forget that I'm a real estate agent, or hey, do you guys know anybody that wants to buy a house, or something. You could show a fun, engaging stuff, like you're at work and something funny happens, or you're walking through a house and maybe you see something cool, but I'm not saying take pictures of other people's listings and post them online. I'm just saying, like, I see people do it all the time, or they'll take a picture of like a cool fireplace or something that you saw and you wanted to share about it, and people are like, oh, that's really pretty. And it catches people's eye. That's why people are watching HGTV and other types of shows that, they get ideas, and it's kind of fun to be, have that kind of aspect in of it too. But also for me, it's a lot about fitness too. So I share what I'm eating and what I'm exercising. A lot of the questions people will ask me, like via email or messages on Facebook, I kind of touch to those, like through a random post of some kind, like a certain exercise that I have been doing that I've been liking lately or something like that.
Yeah.
People like stuff like that too.
Yeah. Now, are you really intentional about, like, for example, like, let's just say you just meet with a potential new buyer, do a buyer consultation, they sign a buyer employment agreement with you. Are you at that point in the relationship, are you intentional about shooting out friend requests, to Facebook to grow that and use that is just another database on the list, another sphere of influence essentially? Or, you just more intentional on building up your own followers?
It's funny that you say that, because I had a buyer consultation last night, and I just friend requested them this morning. And I don't necessarily do that as a system, but I definitely want to become friends with my clients at some point. I mean, I don't want to necessarily be like weird or anything like that also, but and everybody knows that people look everybody up on Facebook. Everybody does that. We all know that. And so it's kind of like, who's going to be the one that does it first? Who's going to be the one to shoot the friend request first? And, I'll be proactive, and I want to engage with my clients. I do want to become friends with my clients. And I think that people probably already looked you up anyway. And if somebody's going to look you up and they want to know a little bit about you, they're going to want to look at your pictures. They want to see what's on your about section. What's your profile picture look like? Are there any pictures of you getting crazy and wild, doing stupid stuff online? People want to know this. They want to validate your reputation. So if you're talking to someone, especially a millennial, at an open house, they're probably going to look you up online after they leave, or if they're considering calling you.
Yeah. Now, as far as building up, that a larger following, right? If somebody's wanting to build that up, I mean, and let's maybe speak to, Facebook and Instagram separately. Are there any kind of tips that or tricks that you've learned to help build up those followers compared to, just posting great content? Like, I know you got to post things that engage, and I don't think, that I know you said, not to be narcissistic here with watching how many likes, but at the end of the day, right? I mean, it's a matrix. Like, you need to know what people are responding to. If you're going to use this strategically to help you grow your brand and grow your business, like, you got to know that kind of stuff. And know that engagement, but let's just speak to Facebook first. Are there any kind of tips that you have, whether it's setting tips or other ways to kind of help you develop that following, or is it literally just about posting great content that people engage with?
I think that, I think that finding something, two things that come to mind first, finding something outside of real estate that you identify with, that is a part of who you are. Like, for me, it's fitness and nutrition. For you, it might be, I don't know about you personally, but for anyone listening, it might be mountain biking, which is also pretty fun, or, painting, or barbecuing or something. Oh, wow, you can tell I'm in Kansas City here, talking about painting and barbecuing. So anyway, something is a hobby of yours that's engaging, that you have an audience with. Your friends on Facebook are most likely interested in that stuff too. You create somewhat of a regular schedule of, like, you're posting something like this or something like that, or just getting more of a regular routine of trying to do these things at least a couple times a week. If they're coming to, it's like it's an algorithm that Facebook has, and you're more likely to show up on somebody's newsfeed the more that you like someone's content. So whether you're liking, I'm not the code generator or anything, so I'm not 100% sure how this works, but in my experience, I noticed that just the more active I am and the more engaging content that I put out there, the more I get back, and it kind of quadruples, it exponentially grows. So, regularly consistent posting good content out there that's not just about real estate, that's also engaging, that your friends are interested to drive them back to your Facebook. So that way your business posts are more likely to pop up higher in their newsfeed because they're engaging in your other posts more often too.
Yep. Yeah. And when at the end of the day, it's like, those that are watchers that are in real estate, at the end of the day, we're not in the real estate business, right? You're in the human resource, human connection business, and we're just helping them facilitate this process, which happens to be real estate. So the more people can connect with you on a deep level, and it's awesome when you run into a client you haven't seen in 5 or 6 years, and they know everything about your kids, and hey, I saw you doing this with your kids, or saw that vacation, and dude, people pay attention. I've got When you spend a certain amount of money on Facebook, Facebook assigns you your own coach, if you will, through Facebook. And I was just having a conversation with my Facebook coach, and they said that the average person, the average Facebook user logs in 18 times a day into their system now, right? So people are paying attention, right? I mean, if you really break it down, social media is just the modern version of reality TV, right? It's just now it's on your cell phone.
Yeah, it's also a form of a drug. They've also shown recently how addicting it can be, and your releasing of dopamine, your serotonin levels. Every time that you post something, you kind of release a certain amount of hormones, the feel-good hormones that keeps you coming back for more. It's a social validation thing. The future is changing. It's just, you have to be adaptable in every business, and that's why online social media marketing is so important now.